I knew something was wrong the moment my son walked into the reunion and didn't look my way. Everyone else was smiling, hugging, calling out names, but not Michael. My own boy brushed right past me like I was another folding chair on the lawn. I'd spent the whole week preparing for that day. Baked pies, ironed the red and white tablecloth, even wore the blue dress he'd bought me for Mother's Day years ago. But he just gave me a nod, tight-lipped, and went straight to his wife's family. The air smelled like barbecue smoke and honeysuckle. Kids were laughing near the tire swing, and country music hummed from a Bluetooth speaker. But I felt like I was standing in the middle of winter. I tried not to let it show. I said hello to his wife. She smiled that polite, paper-thin smile that never reached her eyes, and I handed her a plate of my homemade potato salad. She set it down without a word and kept talking to her friends. So I found myself a spot under the big oak tree and just watched. Watched him toss a football with his cousins, watched him laugh, watched him not once look my way. Every time I thought he might come over, he'd get distracted. It stung, you know? I raised that boy. Stayed up nights when he was sick, packed lunches, cheered the loudest at every game. And now I couldn't even get a hello. At one point my sister-in-law leaned over and whispered, "Don't take it personal, honey. He's just caught up in his own life." I smiled, but inside I was breaking. That's when I decided I wasn't going to sit there invisible any longer. After dinner, when it was time for the family talent hour, something we'd done since my husband was alive, everyone started clapping for the younger crowd. Michael's daughter sang a Taylor Swift song. One nephew did stand-up comedy, and the air buzzed with laughter. Then, when they asked who wanted to go next, I stood up. First, people looked surprised. I hadn't performed since my husband's funeral 10 years ago, but I walked right to the middle of that lawn, straightened my dress, and took a deep breath. I started humming an old tune. "You Are My Sunshine." It was the lullaby I used to sing to Michael when he couldn't sleep. My voice trembled at first, but then it grew stronger. The chatter faded, kids went quiet, and before I knew it, the whole yard was singing along. When I finished, everyone clapped, even the teenagers. And then I saw him, my son, standing there wiping his eyes. He came over slow like he didn't know how to start. "Mom," he said, voice cracking, "I'm sorry. I've been distant. You didn't deserve that." I smiled, rested my hand on his cheek. "You're here now. That's enough." The night carried on with music, laughter, and warm pie under string lights. And for the first time in years I felt seen. Sometimes you don't need to shout to be heard. You just have to sing your truth.